Hi, this is Matt Parsons. Welcome to Beating BPI. Today we're going to be looking at eating with different kinds of knives and forks with Erb's palsy, brachial plexus injury. So, as you can see here, I've got various different sort of sizes of knives and forks. To be honest, I find it difficult to eat. Often what I do is I just end up sort of using my right hand to do sort of just with a fork, just kind of using that really. But obviously it's not the best, and obviously if you're going out for a nice meal or something like that, then you don't really want to be doing that. So I kind of have different tricks to be able to do that. Now this is quite a small fork. But it's not too bad actually, to be honest, with my left hand. What I find sometimes, if they're a little bit thin around here, I struggle to grip it, and it just sort of moves around in my hand. So if I'm trying to eat, then the food just falls off the fork, and because I don't have this sort of movement, it's sort of quite difficult. And sort of when I was a kid, I was always taught to sort of bring the food up to your mouth rather than bringing your mouth down to the food and sort of shovel it into your mouth. So I try to obviously have those table manners, but obviously it can be quite difficult sometimes, so I have to do different things. So I sort of avoid using the smaller, thinner forks because they don't really work for me. They've got the bigger ones, which again are a little bit easier to cut. So as you can see, I can sort of get my finger on there quite easily. But again, it's that grip and being able to, let's say for instance, if I'm trying to put beans onto here, trying to get that sort of up to my mouth is quite difficult. So what I usually do is just do it like this, which obviously isn't the best for manners. Often what I do actually is I switch hands, so I actually use the cutting with my left hand because that's a little bit easier to do, and then obviously I can sort of use my right hand as I normally would. So if you do ever have a meal with me, then obviously you might see this happening every now and again, and it just makes life an awful lot easier. The other what I have invested in is these quite strange looking forks. They're actually made from old knives, pen knives and stuff like that. They've been converted into forks, and they've got quite a big sort of wide area here, which makes life a lot easier for grip. And around here as well, this is sort of a little bit bigger. So often what I've found is that using a wider fork makes life an awful lot easier for me when I'm eating. When I'm eating things like beans and peas and stuff like that, it can be really difficult. I mean, I think that's the thing, and I can feel back here when I'm eating, it starts to ache after a while because of this movement. I just can't get that into my mouth. It's quite difficult. And sometimes this sort of shoveling, and then obviously you're taught when you're a kid to keep your elbows in, and you don't want to be elbowing people when you're having dinner. So that was always really difficult. So I'd eat like this and then be elbowing people when I was a kid and stuff like that. So I always try and have a bit of space around me when I'm eating. I have had to adapt the way I do things, and that's generally speaking the way that I try and do things now. Is I kind of use my right hand to do the work, and then my left one for cutting. And so it just makes life an awful lot easier. I'd like to hear from you guys. So if you do a similar thing when you're eating, then I'm always sort of open to sharing people's stories and things like that. So remember to comment below and share this video with other people with Erb's palsy, brachial plexus injury. And I'm would really love to hear from you and to see how you adapt to eating. Thanks for watching.